Hey, it's great to be with you again today. How grateful are we? I think we need to ask that question sometimes because we go through our lives and we have all of these blessings and we have these awesome gifts that have been given to us. We have homes, we have jobs, we have, I mean, everything that really we can ask for, and it's been given to us. We live in the land of plenty in this country that we live in, right? It's so much more than any other country has ever had in all of history. And sometimes I think that we aren't as thankful and grateful as we need to be. And we're not the first people who have kind of overlooked the blessings that God has poured out for us. The Hebrews did the same thing, right? They had been enslaved in Egypt for like 300, 400 years. And they were, I mean, Pharaoh had killed off some of their kids, and they were trying to whittle their numbers down, and Moses came along to Pharaoh and said, "Hey, let my people go." And finally, after the plagues, Pharaoh says, "Okay, get out of here, hit the road." And the Hebrews go out and they go through and are marching to the promised land. They mess it all up. For 40 years they wander around the wilderness, and it's their own fault. Anyway, that's a whole different story. But what I want to say is they saw God part the Red Sea, and they crossed over the Red Sea, and then the Red Sea crashed in on the Egyptians who were coming to kill them. They asked for food and started to complain about not having enough food, and God provided manna from heaven to provide for them. One other time they started to complain that they didn't have any meat, and God provided this incredible number of quail to come flying into their area, and they were able to have meat. They were able to have travel at nighttime with a pillar of fire and a pillar of cloud during the day. God did all of these incredible signs and miracles to provide for them that ultimately led them to the promised land. But here's the one thing that always happened. The Hebrews complained. They complained that they didn't have this. They complained they didn't have that. They were thirsty and they didn't have enough water. They didn't have enough food. They didn't, how come we had to leave? Right? All of these complaints, when if they would have just looked at the signs and the miracles that God had provided for them, they would have known that God was walking with them and with them every step of the way, and their gratefulness, it should have been overflowing. But instead, they could only look at the things that they didn't have. Do we do the same thing? Do we look at what we don't have and complain about it and wish we had more, and look at what they've got and I can't believe we don't have that, and instead of praising God and being thankful, we complain? Let's think about that. Let's think about the blessings. Focus on being grateful to a God who has given us so much. May God continue to pour out his grace, mercy, and blessings on each and every one of us. Until we get to meet again, amen, amen.